Hunter. We're here in the Mountain State of Ohio versus Andrea Wasik. This is case 24 CR 1364. Ms. Wasik is present in court. She's accompanied by her attorney, Masa. We are here today, defendant having previously entered a plea of guilty, assault on a peace officer, felony 4-3, back on the 18th of April. That time, the court ordered pre-sentence investigation along with kind of statements, those having been accomplished without getting sentencing.
It sounds like any reason not to go forward with sentencing.
Yeah, what's up, guys?
Anything to accept on behalf of your client?
Well, thank you, Your Honor. We'd like to ask the court today to allow Ms. Wasik to put on community control sanctions. In speaking with Ms. Wasik, based on her pre-sentence report, it's clear that she has a lot of mental health issues, a lot of trauma in her life. She does go to physical health. She goes at least once a month to speak with somebody. She is on medication. She indicated to me that she wants to pursue grief counseling and trauma counseling. It's something she's never done before. She said her prior trauma hasn't started coming up until later in her life. A lot of the trauma was teenager. She had a lot going on at that time, and she indicated to me it hasn't come up until as of late. She also indicated her housing situation has been very unstable, but she has been very communicative with me. She shows up to court. She shows up to office. And so even with her housing situation, all the church she is going on, she has been very responsible when it comes to this case. She knows she messed up and she wants to take care of it. She did indicate to me that she is on the path to getting housing, but she will help with her mental health and help get that anger under control. She's looking to rent a home close to Perry, so she'll still be within the area. She did apply for housing in Lake and Johnson County, but she unfortunately was denied it. That's her biggest hiccup. Based on her mental health and her living situation, she's trying to get her life on track. She's trying to stay out of trouble. Last I spoke with her, she indicated she doesn't have much of an issue with alcohol. I believe, though, that some of this has played into that. I do think she was out of some dual diagnosis situation. I know
Okay, drinking over here.
I know, Your Honor, and I know there was some concerns that you keep coming up, and I know she has a pretty lengthy criminal history. I know that criminal history, a lot of it leads to violent tendencies. She's been on probation before. Like I said, speaking with Ms. Wasik, I do believe mental health is her biggest underlying condition. I think she has the ability to get under control. She'll be able to get on the track to no trouble. Thank you.
Thank you. Want to secure the right conclusion?
Buckle up, folks. This one's a wild courtroom ride. We're diving into the sentencing of Andrea Wasik, charged with assaulting a peace officer, a fourth-degree felony. And trust me, the judge in this case does not hold back. Let's see if her plea for mercy can outweigh her record.
For your sentence and saying from you want, is there anything you want to say?
Morning, Your Honor. My name is Andrea Wasik, 58 years old. I'm not making any excuses. I feel terrible for my actions. I'd like to apologize to court system and also to the officer that I victimized. I'm not making any excuses. I've struggled with my mental health. I have gone through some jail time, come out. I am on Social Security. That process happened 3 years ago for mental health. I have struggled to get my medication right. I've had Bell's palsy and also Stephen-Barr syndrome for medication. So it's been a long journey. It's been a struggle. When I think sometimes that the medication is working, it will affect me differently maybe later on, and then I'll experience physical anomaly from it. I was manic at the time of the incident. I do remember prior to the actual officer coming there, I was told by the driver what had happened in between. I do know what I experienced. I had never experienced that physically ever, but I was on a medication called Slyda at the time, and it was causing me an assessment on October 30th. I believe that the incident happened on November 11th, and I was feeling suicidal thoughts. the medication was not, um, it was not working well for me. And I'm on a lot of medication. Sometimes I don't know, I was on Ambien, trazodone, Vistarel for sleeping. I am not on that medication anymore. It would cause me to do some large pain that I would wake up and just be aware of. I do know at the time I was on Caplyta that I just did an assessment on the 30th of October for approximately 3 hours with my mental health doctor, and I stopped taking the medication because it was making suicidal. I had suicidal tendencies. I tried to set myself on fire, believe it or not. It didn't work out, thank God. I was experiencing so much the medication. It would work for a little bit, and then, I would just, I see bar syndrome. I got, like I said, I'm not trying to make any excuses, but if I'm stable in my housing, my Social Security has been cut off since then. I'm doing odd jobs to try to support myself, and I applied for housing in Lake County, and I was denied. And Lake County is a job because of this. They sent me the records from Lake County. So I just applied for housing on the street in Gary so I could be close as possible and to reconnect with other services like trauma services that I've talked to my counselor prior to this incident happening, and I was going to go to grief counseling at St. Anthony Padua, but I've never had that before. Never had that. I know I need it because these things are coming up from my past when I was younger, and it's affecting my life horribly now. And when I was a teenager, I had my parents and my family, and I had more of a solid support group. Everybody is gone, and just me, and I tried to work out things with my counselor, and tried to go do the best I could. Go to IOP. I was on IOP.
Parents passed away
Pardon?
27 years ago. Your mother passed away
Yes.
15 years ago.
And I just had a sister, my best friend, the closest cousin, 2 years ago, and that trauma of that, I've never,
I'm trying to figure out how that is from so long.
well, meditation, like I said, I'm experiencing things that I've never experienced in my prior life. I have been going to,
Prior life.
I'm sorry, my prior younger, when I was younger. My sister passed away 2 years ago, and I struggled with that mentally. She had severe mental illness also, and
This is what we call a mitigation argument. Her lawyer is painting a picture of trauma, instability, and mental health battles, hoping the judge opts for rehabilitation over prison time. But notice how she emphasizes consistency. Showing up to court, taking medication. That's all meant to show she's not a lost cause.
30 years.
Henry,
Many times for 30 years. Yeah. 1995. So 30 years.
I was like 36 years old when I started developing. Things that I wasn't sure what was going on
You're
in my
28
head.
years old when you started committing crimes.
28,
30 years ago. How old are you now?
58. I don't remember.
You don't remember. Wow.
I'm severely. I apologize to the court and to the officer.
Anything else I can say?
Please have mercy on me, please, and give me a chance. I could do probation. No, I can't.
You never did it. You were on it. You violate every single time. You're on probation when you do this.
Yes, I was on probation for a DUI 3 years prior to it. Yes, I was.
Yeah, I can say you can do it. You've never done it.
Can you give me a chance, so please? I was successful, completed a couple programs, CAP, meal, CAP, Orca House. I successfully completed those. meal prep twice. I know I can do this. I
don't
know
know how
I
you
have
know
to
you
get
can do it.
stable on my medication and my housing, and I know I can do it. I'm be willing to do, restitution to the police department if that's needed. I will do whatever I can. Um, whatever. I think I've never been given a chance, and I don't know much about it. I don't.
There been
No, I'm saying I've never been given a chance to be on the mental health docket. I need help to help myself. I can't do it all by myself because sometimes things get jumbled and I get too overwhelmed. And because I can bounce it off somebody else, but my counselor, sometimes I bounce it off her or Eric from IOP or somebody else. Then they give me insight on it, and then I can focus and think a better option or way of doing it. I've never been given the chance to be on a mental health docket. I think that would be very helpful to me. That I have to be accountable for certain things that I'm told that I have to do. I struggle to get to places, but I can do it. And when I have more of a structure in my life, I work better. I do better. I want to do better. I want to have, I want to be a productive part of society, not the destructive part of society. When I moved over here, I was doing wonderful. I felt good. I had people that were suggesting things to me that I looked at a different perspective, and I was doing. I want to be a productive, positive part of society, not a negative part of society. I want to acculate into a community. I want to be a part of the community. I volunteered at the senior center. I loved it. I volunteered at the senior center. I volunteered at the churches here, St. Mary's and St. James. Hunger Center. The more I do things like that, the better I feel, and the more structured I feel. I need to get stable on medication. I've taken so much medication that sometimes I don't know if I'm going to be honest. And when things that happen to me that's different, I'm waking up, putting plates in the microwave, and doing stuff like that. The medication is not good, but it's hit or miss. I take so much medication sometimes, sometimes it has ill effect on me, sometimes it has good effect on me. I would like to be stable in my life and, like I said, be a positive part of society. Apologize to the court system and to the officer. I really apologize for my action. Sincerely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Tom, is there anything else?
Nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you.
Well,
Now, this is the emotional core of any sentencing hearing, the defendant's right of allocution. Andrea is about to speak directly to the judge. No lawyers, no filters. This is her one shot to show remorse and humanity. Let's see if she can sway the court.
Your Honor, at the time of the plea, the state agreed to recommend community control on the structure of prison to stand by that community.
Score agreed to pre-sentence report investigation, the psychological evaluation, and consider the facts and circumstances of the offense involved, the nature of the offense involved. Observed said here for today also. Consider the purposes and principles of felony sentencing set forth in 29-29-11. The factors in 29-29-12, nothing stands out factually indicating it's more or less serious. As for the recidivism factors, almost every factor is present. The recidivism is more likely to committed this offense while she was on probation in the court. She has a lengthy history, which is going back to 1995. The nature of those convictions are all the same thing we're here for. Offenses of violence. I've been doing this for 20 years. I've never seen somebody with command convictions for assaults, battery, and it's not even close. So what were the numbers that you had? You had 30 arrests. Wait, no. How many arrests for assaulting a police officer?
Total conviction, total
And then total assault charges? 30? Okay. 30 arrests. Is that 30 plus 10 for the, is that includes that? 30 arrests for assaults, batteries. That doesn't count any of the disorderly conduct charge. 30 arrests for offenses of violence. Incredible. You've not responded favorably to previously imposed sanctions. You've been given multiple chances. Multiple times you've been in probation. Every time you're on probation, you violate. You don't follow the rules. You have new charges. You were on probation at the time you did this. While you're on bond in this case, you've been arrested on another charge. Just when you were in. You should be okay. There's an alcohol problem related to the offense, and you deny it. You claim you've been sober since April of 24. Yet, in this case, there was alcohol smelled on your breath. In the new case pending in Ashtabula, there was alcohol that was smelled about your person. In this case, there's no genuine remorse. You have to say you apologize. You didn't even which you did. You say you don't remember anything. You remember every specific detail. Every specific detail.
And there it is, the gut punch moment. The judge isn't buying the excuses. 30 years of criminal history? That's not just a pattern. It's a lifestyle. This is where mercy meets the cold, hard facts of recidivism. The courtroom energy just shifted.
Until the moment that you get into a police officer, and all of a sudden your mind goes blank and you don't remember anything. Well, you weren't drunk, you weren't drinking. What are you? That's just not credible. Not believable. That's every factor in the recidivist more likely. With guarantee. There's no factor that became recidivist less likely. In 29-29-13 B1, the court finds the prison term, I forgot to mention that earlier. Committed the offense while she was on community control probation. The offense of physical harm to another to the prior conviction causing harm. These are all factors overriding the presumption for community control sanctions. Prison consistent sense, and there's no way this court could ever make a finding that you're amenable to community control sanctions. You're not. You've demonstrated it. I don't. You stand here and say, "I know I can do it." I don't know how you could say, "I know I can do it," because you've never done it. And you're just going to continue engaging in this. This is what you do. It doesn't matter what anyone says or what anyone does. You just continue to assault police officers, assault others, dream to get out of control. That's what you've been doing for 30 years. And you haven't done anything to change it. Therefore, it will be the sentence of this court. In count 1, administer the term in prison of 10 months, strike 3 days. Count 2 and 3 will be dismissed, and to advise you upon your release from prison, you may be placed on post-release control for 2 years. If you are violating these conditions, the parole authority can return you to prison as punishment for violating the rules for another 5 months. The maximum being % of what I just imposed. Any additional prison term imposed for violating post-release control being imposed a part of the sentence at this time. Court placement in a program of shock incarceration and intensive prison program. Transfer to transitional control. The defendant's words of balance costing for this action. Mulligan, is there anything else we have at this time?
No, Your Honor.
Interesting twist here. The state actually agreed to recommend community control, basically probation. But here's the catch. The final call lies with the judge. And by the look of things, that recommendation might not be enough to save her.